hello everyone, and it's nice that we could join you guys on a Tuesday. Not a typical Monday slot, but it's nice that we could still see you at your lunchtime. Just in case if anyone wasn't aware, today's session will be recorded and then we can send it out afterwards. So my name is Daniela, and I'm here representing the team at the Oxford College of Marketing. Today we have a session that will be led by Robin. And the session will be on Canva's Visual Suite 2.0, AI-powered design for marketers. And just in case, if this is your first time here with us and you haven't met Robin, Robin McMillan is a self-proclaimed nerd who is put on this earth to help organizations and individuals understand their marketing data, demystify MarTech, and make things more complicated. She's really well qualified to lead today's talk, and she's one of our tutors here at the Oxford College of Marketing as well. How it typically works is that we have a presentation from Robin, and then there's plenty of opportunities for questions throughout or at the end. We're happy to make the session as interactive as possible. So feel free to use the Q&A function, or you can use the chat. Otherwise, Robin, would you like to take over?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniela. And yeah, so today's session is all about a piece of technology that us as marketers have been using since it appeared within our tech stack, right? Canva is that kind of piece of technology that is going to go down in the marketer's kind of legacy. The reason I brought it into the MarTech Club kind of sessions is has just had one of the biggest AI integrated rehauls of many platforms, actually. And what we've seen within like the marketing world is realistically, every platform and its dog is now AI powered, AI automated, AI supercharged. But in reality, what a lot of those platforms are actually doing is something called AI washing. They're not truly integrating AI into the platforms or the systems, and they're kind of bending the terminology to make their platform seem incredibly wonderful, incredibly cutting edge. But what Canva has actually done is created a whole AI integration within our design suite. So what are we going to kind of cover today? We are going to look at what is one design and their concept of what that truly means for us as marketers. What is AI-powered creation, and how does Canva give us access to that as marketers, those within the marketing team, even sales, because, you know, they need to have access to the things that we create. And what is smarter spreadsheets and the data visualization that is truly an option now within Canva. If you come to any of my sessions or you've done any of my classes, I always talk about personalized content at scale. And that is because that is the way we are moving towards as marketers. Us as consumers, we're too busy. We're incredibly distracted online. We need to be spoken to in a way that supports us to truly feel recognized, seen, and heard by the brands. And Canva is allowing us to create that personalized content at scale as marketers to truly deliver those almost one-on-one kind of interactions. And we're also going to look at their no-code interactive kind of tools. But Canva has it's come a long way. I remember when it used to be called Poor Man's Adobe or the stupid Photoshop. Yeah, it was a platform that kind of tried to cut in and bring in this like democratization of design. So all of a sudden, we all had access to creation, especially as marketers. So marketers were able to create and develop and store and save things like brand settings to be able to create things incredibly quickly without having to potentially interact or bring in your design team. And over time, Canva has it's evolved like all of our platforms do. And we're now really into the world of it being a hub of creativity and productivity. Now, I must say, I am not sponsored by Canva I am not I am not here to sing its praises. What we're here to do today is to actually look through how this AI powered tech is changing our marketing roles. And with Visual Suite 2.0, it really is redefining how teams work and create. No longer is it this kind of secondary platform. It actually has this wealth of AI tools and integration for us to truly be able to create in one space. I will be popping links into the chat. So if you have Canva, if you press those links, what you can actually do is try out the different things that we kind of go through today. Or at least press that link and discover exactly where they are within Canva. So you can kind of go away and try these things straight away after this session. So let's take a quick look though at how Canva has truly grown. So from its 2013 launch to now, where we're integrating everything into one powerful suite. So we have this idea that was kind of generated in 2007. So Melanie Perkins, she taught design software at a university. She saw students struggle with complex tools. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever opened anything within the Adobe suite. It's not particularly intuitive, and it does stall progress and iteration. So she kind of envisioned a simple, accessible design platform for everyone. And she co-founded that with somebody called Cliff and Cameron in Australia. So that is where it came from. This recognition that actually this tool needs to be simple, accessible, and useful. And 2012, it actually got some initial kind of funding, and they started to develop this as an accessible product, not just an idea. And the whole basis of Canva was this drag and drop interface where we can easily select, bring in, and manipulate within our whatever we were creating. Yeah. We had the public launch in 2013. Where the whole basis was user-friendly interface, rich template library. I don't know if you can kind of recognize that maybe during this time, everybody's social media kind of looked the same because we were all using the same templates out of Canva at that time. And even though it said extensive, realistically, there wasn't that much choice for kind of the templates that were on offer. They had the mobile version in 2016. And they have pushed forward with rapid growth and pro features. There is so many layers now in this one platform that is incredibly low entry cost, realistically. And they also started to launch Canva Pro in 2016. So this is where we got that tiered option of actually getting more access to tech, templates, and opportunities within this platform. They had an amazing pandemic response. So 2020, they adapted quickly to global communication needs during COVID-19. They offered free access to certain organizations and charities, and they also offered so many templates and resources for remote work, communicating virtual events, helping organizations pivot and have access to things that they didn't even think that they would ever need access to. I don't think anyone in this session thought what happened in 2020 would happen in 2020 in the way that it did. So Canva was incredibly quick at being the platform for the people, supporting organizations and industry to move forward still while having access to that kind of additional marketing that they needed. And then we kind of move into the launch of Suite 2.0. This is where we are integrating design, data, and AI and interactivity in one unified platform. How many tools would this standardly set you back as a marketer? Does anyone want to have a quick guess? So we want to do things like Canvas sheets. We want to data visualize. We want to have a coding system to create things for our website. We want to create data visualization and analysis. You're probably looking at about 12 tools, realistically, each with their own subscription. And what they actually did was they reinvented kind of productivity. That was the whole idea with this update. So we have things like Canva Sheets, Magic Studio, AI design tools, and more that we'll go through today. This came with a problem though. Does anyone remember the price hike debacle that was kind of happening during the kind of last year? Where Canva Teams was supposed to increase from around £150 to nearly £500 a year. And of course, this wasn't within the traditional kind of branding of Canva, where the organization traditionally was on the side of the individual, the user. So of course, we were all upset. Like, I didn't want to increase my team licenses by X amount, X percentage for realistically things I hadn't asked for. Yeah. And what they actually did was they did a rollback for existing users. So Canva reinstated its original pricing for early Canva team adopters. So if you're still on the same pricing, that's amazing, because the price hike is incredibly expensive. And one of the reasons for that is when you add AI into a platform, you add something called tokenization. And that is what the cost is often linked to. Tokenization is the way that the systems take our input, turn it into an understanding that they recognize. They go about, they do their kind of process, they bring it back, and then they have to re-tokenize that answer so we understand it as an output. So of course, it is going to cost Canva more to run this system, right? And they also increased something like a pricing promise. So Canva committed to moving forward, giving at least 60 days notice for any future price changes. They've decided to do greater pricing transparency and regional price adjustments. But they alienated quite a lot of their legacy users, actually. And there was a dip in Canva use and Canva subscriptions. So they just thought that we as the consumer will be like, oh, this is going to be amazing. All of this AI stuff, I will pay whatever to have access to this. But actually, it didn't quite roll out that way. And I'm not surprised. The price hike was made it kind of parable along the lines of like the Adobe suite. So realistically, it just wasn't the best kind of brand decision to do it how they wanted to. And from a marketing point of view, this alteration, we need to recognize that actually our customer feedback matters. And realistically, Canva acknowledged the backlash and emphasized its commitment to listening to the community overall. And realistically, there will be future price hikes because Canva is likely optimizing pricing in preparation for future integration. So from the kind of idea, this basic idea that design should be accessible, understanding, and simple, we have now wound up in this glorious kind of realm of Visual Suite 2.0. And from a marketing point of view, it is allowing us to do incredibly wonderful things. Because not only is it a great platform that does great things that we need it to do, it is bridging productivity within marketing with creativity. We are de-siloing those kind of processes. And when we start to do that, we are more efficient. We are more courageous. We can act quicker and move forward to different kind of decisions. And realistically, before platforms like Canva began to exist, productivity and creativity existed in separate worlds. Yeah. Traditional workflows meant switching between tools, managing multiple formats, multiple teams, losing time to coordination. designing across presentations, who has the most up-to-date one, why is somebody using the wrong font, all of those kind of things. Documents and websites felt incredibly fragmented. And what Canva aims to solve with its Visual Suite 2.0 is, why should our work be divided when it's all part of the same project? And realistically, on paper, that's what we should be aiming for. Yeah. And this suite breaks down those barriers so you can create, collaborate across presentations, videos, whiteboards, all of these wonderful things, all within a single unified design experience. No more switching platforms, no more losing context, no data stuck in various places. We are all on the same page. Does anybody work within a particularly complex kind of marketing department? Or maybe you have hundreds of different products or different places you need to create things, Pinterest, an e-commerce site, some sort of digital shop. What we're doing here is it's not just about convenience, it's about changing the way we work, because marketing works best when we are connected. We are not meant to be an island. We should be connected to our sales teams, our design teams, our organizational goals. And this kind of suite gives you everything you need to bring those ideas to life in one powerful, seamless platform. So it's a big change. It's a huge integration change, and it has been powered by AI. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you directly the main updates. We're going to have a look around Canva itself, so you can actually start to see the difference that these integrations are actually starting to make for us as individuals. So the first thing that we have that is totally different is Canva Sheets. And you may be going, yeah, Robin, we have Google Sheets. Well, yeah, but this actually is integrated directly into your design platform. And spreadsheets don't have to be boring. Yeah, they really don't have to be boring. And Canva Sheets is designed to kind of bring together all of these different insights into one place, branded, with access to your content, with a recognition of who is supposed to be responsible and who is designed. And here, what we can start to do is we can transform data into beautiful, interactive visual stories. And it is where data meets design. Yeah, it is this whole integration, still, oh, bless me, still focusing on the drag and drop feature that we base the kind of creation of Canva on. So it merges data analysis with visual storytelling, and it allows us to work with numbers, charts, and formulas while harnessing Canva's design capabilities to turn data into compelling kind of visuals. So it has seamless data and design integration. So it blends the structure of a traditional spreadsheet. This is a very standard kind of format that we are we understand a lot, but with Canva's design first environment. So we're easily pairing data with stunning layouts to create presentations, reports, dashboards, all those kind of things. And as you can see, it's incredibly easy. You can see who is working on it, and you can see all of the extra information within that sheet. It also has AI-powered intelligence. So it has magic insights and magic formulas, which I'll show you on the next slide. And it simplifies these data tasks. So no longer do you have to remember sheets and sheets of Excel spreadsheets kind of formulas. You literally just ask the document. And we can generate formulas from natural language, meaning that we can literally go, I want to know which product, which campaign is doing the best. How do we improve the kind of email opt-in rate? What do you think is what do you think is impacting that? To create a formula for that would take a lot of kind of maths understanding for a start. But this AI-powered tracker contains all of that information and has the ability to analyze, allowing you to just put the data in. It does beautiful visualizations, so data stories. We can identify trends very quickly, track performance, and present findings in a way that's both informative and engaging. You can also see that it is built for collaboration. So we know here that Erica is currently in this document, discovering kind of the content for this white paper asset directly. She can click that link there and get taken straight to that piece of content. And it's more than just a spreadsheet. So that's why I was like, yeah, it kind of does look like Google Sheets, but actually it offers a modern creative approach because everything is dynamic and trackable. And it is built to empower rather than just be a data storage, because we need more than that now. There's too much going on. People need links. They need the most up to date with something. So realistically, it's a fabulous way for you to have all of your design assets linked to your data campaign information so you can make decisions quicker and easier. So this is an example of how you would literally ask it a question. And it does it for you. And then you could insert it directly. I would have loved that in Excel a couple of years ago, right? It would have saved me a lot of time when working out those kind of integral return on investments, the costs, the cost per click, and all those kind of things. And what you're basically doing is you are, at the end of the day, you are just popping in that piece of information into that process and then allowing yourself access to that system doing the heavy lifting for you. Yeah. So now we have Magic Studio, and this is its collection of AI-powered tools, and it is designed to streamline and enhance the creative process, making it easier for users to create and scale content overall, all in one click. Yeah, that's the whole idea. That is the process that we are looking at in these kind of systems. It's this suite of AI tools designed to streamline and enhance the creative process, making it easier for us to create and scale. It offers a range of features, including content generation, resizing, content automation. It is your PA. It is your marketing design PA. It does all of those little systems, those little processes in between you having an idea and creating the output. So some of its core features are things like Magic Write, so it can actually generate first drafts, rewrite text, and summarize content for you. It has Magic Design. It creates custom content like presentations, videos, and social posts. It can convert text into images and videos. It can resize, so resize your design, swap the formats incredibly quickly, and also do things like Magic Expand, where we're extending images in any direction. So it is all of these tools that we are very familiar with. So like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, actually integrated into your area, into your creative space, allowing you to have access to all of this AI support whilst creating. Some of its benefits are that Magic Studio aims to simplify the design process so we can be quicker. We have a never-ending to-do list as marketers. So actually having something that works with us to create things in a much more positive way is highly integral moving forward. It also leverages all of that gorgeousness of AI. So we're leveraging AI to generate ideas, create content from prompts, and automate tasks. We also have scalability. So features like Resize and Magic Switch allow us to easily adapt designs for various platforms and formats. It is also a glorious accessibility feature. So it is designed for users of all skill levels, making it easy to create professional looking content without extensive design experience. So in essence, this kind of Magic Studio, this is what we're looking at here, gives us a centralized hub for Canva's AI-powered tools. So if you want to have a look at Magic Studio, it is this link that I will pop into the chat here. So that will take you to the direct space for Magic Studio. What I like about this kind of system is, watch this video. We can translate our content incredibly quickly, allowing brands to have global coverage within seconds. Did you see how quick that was? Let me see if it'll allow me to replay this for us. Oh no, it's just gonna go back. Maybe I can do it this way. So we went to actions, we went to translate, we selected our language, we asked it to put it in a new column, bang. That is incredibly quick and positive. This is instant bulk localization for our content as marketers. Of course, you will need to get this checked. Yeah, AI systems only have access to so much kind of cultural knowledge. So you will have to make sure that you get that kind of checked. And this is the way that we can have access and be quick and iterate incredibly fast to create these different systems. Yes, Harriet, it's just that one that Daniela's popped back in for me. So if I just show you that again, because the speed is incredible. 100 different posts. We select the language. You can change the tone if you need to. And all of a sudden it adds it in. It's incredibly powerful. Now, Magic Charts is another glorious integration here. And you might be like, oh yeah, well, we have kind of the sheets aspect and we can always create tables and things. Yes, but all of a sudden we're able to create data in a visually appealing and understanding way, not only for our clients, but also our C-suite. And data should inspire, it should not intimidate. And Magic Chart kind of connects real-time data and creates stunning auto-updating visuals. Who needs a automatically updating dashboard out of GA4? We probably all do, right? And this allows us to do that. So I'm just going to pop a Magic Sheets link into the chat for you so you can directly access that. And that is how you would access Magic Charts, because you need to have the data directly in Sheets before you can create something with Magic Charts. And Canva is an AI-powered feature that simplifies data visualization by automatically creating clear and kind of well-defined information from that data we store within the sheets. It does automatic chart generalization. So all of a sudden, it automatically creates these kind of dashboards for us without us having to go in and create those complicated kind of dashboards in Power BI, for example. It has amazing data synchronization. So charts automatically update as our data changes. It's glorious. Ensuring they always reflect the latest information. It has a rich chart library, which offers a wide variety of chart types, from classic to pie charts to unique visualizations like radar charts. It also allows you to add interactive filters and tool tips to your charts, enabling your audience to explore that data further. How wonderful would it be for you to connect your GA4, send it to your clients so they can directly see what is actually going on? Right? It has seamless integration, so it seamlessly integrates with other Canva tools, so we can embed those beautiful interactive kind of things into presentations or documents. And the way that you use it is we have to prepare the data. So we have to make sure that our data is organized in Canva sheets. We then need to select the correct data. So we highlight that data we want to visualize, and then we generate the chart. It's as simple as that. We, of course, can customize, so you can adjust the chart type, colors, and other formatting options as needed over time. So it's incredibly powerful. And then if I just show you the next kind of process. So this is a monthly tracker that is connected to Google Analytics. So it queries Google Analytics and then pulls the information directly into your dynamic dashboard. It's pretty powerful, right? So if I show you that again, it is connected to GA4. It's a very beautiful branded kind of experience. You can refresh the data and all of a sudden those total visits come in, show you if they're coming from social, organic and paid, or email, for example, and gives you the data that you want to have visible from your marketing processes to your clients, your team, or yourself. This is a much more joyous way to look at data than that kind of back end of GA4 if you find that overwhelming. And if you actually need some inspiration, what you can do is just select the data and then Magic Charts will actually automatically start to recommend the best chart types, helping you to bring them into your designs while keeping them up to date as the data changes. Realistically, data storytelling for yourself, your organization, or your kind of communities has never looked this good, this branded, this interactive compared to traditional data visual storytelling. And then we have Canva AI. So this is our assistant, really. And it's designed to streamline our creative process. So is this similar to Power BI? Yes and no. So from the visualization aspect, it's much more powerful than Power BI because for a system where you can just go, I want a dashboard that connects to GA4 and shows me X, Y, and Z, it's incredibly quick. It's incredibly much more interesting than Power BI to look at, and it's dynamic, so it'll auto update. Power BI has the opportunity to do more segmentation and things like that, so more detailed comparison. But I would always have a go with this first, realistically, to see and give you that branded, more interactive option for this kind of data. I'm going to have to sneeze again. So basically, Canva AI is the system that you turn to when you are unsure of how you can get Canva to create something for you. It's the ChatGPT interface of Canva. Yeah, it's if we just watch the video again, I'll just show you the video again. You basically, I want to design this. How do we do it? Here's the media. Let's get going. Yeah, and you can have that iterative conversation back and forth to find that kind of process. Canva AI can generate editable designs, images, and text based on user prompts, making it easier to visualize ideas and bring them to life. We are very used to that ChatGPT kind of back and forth that we understand and have access to as individuals now. So that is what Canva has brought in. We can discuss and change and ask it to make updates for us directly within the Canva AI interface. And Canva's AI-powered tools are kind of grouped within the Magic Studio. So it offers functionalities like Magic Eraser, background remover, Magic Switch, Magic Morph, and those kind of things. So I'm just going to pop that link in the chat now for you to be able to access that directly. There we go. So Canva AI kind of transforms how we interact with Canva and how we get it to formulate those ideas that we have in our head and create it as something physical within the system. And so from presentations to social media graphics, we use a single prompt voice. You can actually talk to it if you wanted to, text. And Canva AI will then get to work for you. And then what we do is we fine tune, because then we put it into the visual suite, which is that suite that we generally understand and work within, apply our brand kit, collaborate, and turn it into a template to share. So as you can see, from that one single prompt, it was able to generate something that we can immediately start to work with. The fact that we can now like give it the right size, the right kind of tone, like with this section here, the smart section here, if you notice, it had various different options. It means that the thing that we get out is almost immediately usable within that whole system as an option for us as a marketer. There's not many AI systems that the thing that comes out at the end, you can use almost immediately. Whereas Canva is trying to bridge that gap. Yeah. AI systems still need human interaction. We shouldn't be creating things within AI systems and then letting it make big decisions, such as the content we create, the wording that we use, without it being kind of watched. Within Canva AI, it's trying to be as authentic as possible because it has access to all of your previous information, your brand kit, the wording you have used before. So it is trying to learn, and it will get better over time. Has anyone tried Canva Code yet? Because all of a sudden we can create incredibly functional web tools without writing a single line of code. So Canva Code is an AI-powered tool within Canva that allows users to create interactive and digital experiences like quizzes, calculators, or mini games without needing that coding experience. So we simply describe what we want to create using our own language, our own questions, and Canva Code generates the corresponding system. There is no coding required. So Canva Code breaks down the barriers to interactive design, making it accessible to anyone, regardless of our technological background. AI-powered algorithms translate user descriptions into functional code. It has versatile applications, so we can build things like for websites, presentations, docs. It's easy to use. We just describe what we want, and Canva Code generates the code for us. And there is a dynamic experience. We create interactive quizzes, calculators, mini games incredibly quickly. Yeah. So I'll just pop you the link in now for Canva Code. And then I'll show you what this actually kind of looks like. So that is the link for Canva Code. So I'm just going to quickly swap my screen to a live version of Canva. So this should be here, yeah? You should all see my screen here. So what you do is literally go into Canva AI on this top section here. You then start to see all those things that I've started to talk about, yeah, all along this top here. But what you can actually do is, if you are unsure of kind of where to start, you click that button there and it allows you to see what you can do with AI. So I'm going to select just one of the coding ones. So let's go for an interactive pricing calculator. So I click that, and as we're talking, it is going to show me how I can prompt it to do that. So it's having a quick little think there at the moment. So it's going to show us an example for a photography studio, on how we can create personal kind of proposals directly from the website. So it is just coding that out now for us. What you can see on the left is it's also given me some questions to enhance that. So I can tell it what is the actual business name, so it can actually call me what my business is. What specific services or products should it include in the calculator beyond the example ones? What is our color scheme or visual style that we would prefer? Is it minimalist, bold, artistic, for example? And you can see it building in real time. How long would it normally take for you to go away and ask your development team to create this for you to put into a newsletter? Probably quite a long time, right? So it just starts to build and create this here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to stop sharing and then go back to our presentation. And then once that is finished, we will go back to the kind of result before the end of this session. So how quickly was that I was able to do that? I literally just pressed a button and it's already starting to build that on my left-hand screen here for me. That ease of use is incredibly powerful for us as marketers. And we can fine-tune the design that we actually create in our brand kit, just like we did before. The new photo editor is an improved version of the free image kind of editor that you've probably experienced, but it offers enhanced features and capabilities for users. So it has things like magic edit, where we can replace objects. We can do things like magic grab, where we only edit the coffee bag, for example. We do things like background removal, background generator, grab text, where we select and edit the text in our photos. And it allows us to support various image formats without the need or understanding of how to edit and update those formats to be usable within our various software. So it's an incredibly powerful now AI system that is already accessible to us as marketers. So we don't have to spend a lot of time getting those pictures brand ready and brand perfect. We can now just point and click. And then once we point and click at any area of our image, we can reposition, we can replace, we can remove, we can recolor, we can resize, all through these AI powered systems that we now have access to. Bulk create is something that you've probably seen kind of really spoken about when it comes to the AI visual kind of 2.0 for Canva. And this is where, I'm going to sneeze again. Bless me. We can actually create content from an Excel spreadsheet incredibly quickly. So imagine if you have data which is like caption, theme, idea, you can select in your Canva sheets a column which says image and then bulk create those images based on your brand. It's incredibly powerful. And we choose the design template and we enter that data. And then we connect our sources. So whether that is a CSV file, such as containing all of the captions or something like that, it was timed in their kind of keynote, and they created 150 images for their social media in less than 2 minutes. We have never been able to do that quickly, in line with our brand, in line with the captions that we create, having different images for those captions. It's incredibly powerful. It stops us having to waste that kind of time on the grunt work, on the lower end kind of creation stuff, whereas actually our time can be much better used in the strategy, the expertise, and the kind of power kind of section of that. So I highly recommend that you have a go at the kind of bulk create. And the way that you find that is you literally go onto the easiest way without having to kind of understand the Canva interface is for you to go on the search feature and then click bulk create. Yeah, and then it'll bring it up there and you follow that process. So why is this important? Why have I sung the praises of Canva for like 45 minutes with you? And it's crucial because this shows a major shift in the accessibility and the use of platforms that we have access to. This was a platform that we have used within marketing for many years. Yeah, a lot of organizations use it because of its simplicity when it compared to other systems like the Adobe Suite. And it matters to us because it is a unified workflow. That means we have more efficiency. We are juggling platforms like a clown all the time. Yeah, we have so many different platforms for so many different things. We have one for visuals, one for data, one for collaboration. It's all now in here. From strategy to design, we can even make it live, all from Canva. So this reduces time lost switching between tools, ensuring better alignment across teams and projects overall. AI supercharges our creativity and our speed. So the integration of AI means we can ideate, create, personalize, and scale content faster than ever, because it can generate ideas. It can automatically format the designs for our different platforms. We can analyze data and deliver insights for performance improvement. And in short, that means we have more impact, less manual effort. And I bet you're not using all of these things that are in this that you've probably paid a subscription for many years, right? We get smarter decision making because with Canva Sheets and Magic Charts, we can now pull in live data and visualize it instantly. Once we see that, we can make more data-driven decisions, we can enhance our reporting and support really agile marketing practices, which is incredibly important. Seamless collaboration. Who has ever edited not the latest version of something? Me. I have wasted time in that entrenchment, and I have got frustrated when actually the thing that goes live isn't what was created in X, Y, or Z team. And marketing doesn't happen in isolation. This suite, this way of working allows us as designers, analytics, copywriters, sales, customer support, project managers to work together. You saw in those videos, we can see directly who is in that document. So we have a much higher level of transparency and trust. Keeping feedback and changes within that shared ecosystem. So that's incredibly powerful too. Everything in one place. And we can do this personalization and scalability at scale, which is incredibly powerful too. Because marketing success now does depend on personalization. So, you know, with those AI tools that I've spoke about today, bulk create, translate, we can localize content, we can generate variants, we can scale campaigns for different audiences that used to take time, energy, resources, and money. As you saw in that document, it was as simple as going add column, and the information was there. And it's not about just learning new features, actually. This is showing a big shift in how we need to reshape how we kind of do the marketing behind the scenes realistically. And those who adapt early gain a real strategic edge in that kind of process. Now, it wouldn't be an AI discussion without me being slightly a Debbie Downer in this situation, because as AI becomes a central part of marketing tools like Canva's Visual 2.0 suite, we have to use it ethically and responsibly. I have just shown you some wonderful things that can really change how you can utilize your kind of systems that you already have access to and really get on that AI-powered bandwagon very quickly, very kind of purposely. But when we're using AI within marketing, there are some ethical considerations we need to put into play. And that is because the technology has become super speedy. There's more and more platforms, more and more processes, more and more technology. And what's been very slow to kind of catch up is the regulatory kind of side. So we need to start thinking about things from our initial use, really, before we have to backtrack and change those systems. So accuracy and misinformation. We know that AI generated content can produce errors or misleading statements. So an ethical practice here, always fact check those AI generated outputs. We have our bias and fairness. So AI models can unintentionally reflect or amplify societal biases present in their training data or the data that we feed it. So we need to make sure that we are aware of that and use diverse prompts to try and overcome those potential biases. We have privacy and data use. So AI tools that process user data or behavior must handle that information responsibly. Marketers often integrate customer data into AI-driven personalization. So there is an element of privacy concern here. And the ethical practice will be to respect data protection laws like GDPR or CCPA, get proper consent for using that data. How authentic and transparent are you about your use of AI? We need to get better at it. Yeah. So as AI generates more content and kind of it becomes harder to distinguish human created versus machine generated material, we need to recognize that this impacts how audiences can trust brands overall. So the ethical practice here would be to be transparent when content is AI assisted, consider disclosing AI use in campaigns where relevant, especially if it might affect perception. This is also an incredibly kind of touchy area that when we're discussing AI use, but there is the potential for job displacement and role shifts. Now, this has happened traditionally anyway, with the integration of new technology and technological change within many sectors. If you think of a car automation kind of factory, it used to be people and then robots took over their jobs. This has happened naturally within different sectors anyway. And this is just something that is naturally changing as AI integration is brought in. And we need to think about this in a way that AI augments human creativity. It does not replace it. We just need to promote reskilling within teams and foster collaboration between human insight and AI efficiency. It is not a replacement. It can't replace experience or expertise. Yeah. Some other things to consider is there is an environmental impact when we're running and using AI models. So we can choose to use platforms that are energy efficient and discuss those kind of things. AI can also be used to create hyper-targeted content that borders on manipulation. So you need to make sure that your marketing practices are respectful and non-exploitative. And what happens when AI makes a mistake? Say it generated offensive content or misrepresented data. Who is responsible? It's us. Yeah. We are the human oversight to these systems. So always have someone who is accountable for reviewing, approving, and being responsible for AI-driven campaigns overall. So what will you try first? What is something that you were like, that is something that's like really tickled my fancy. I'm going to have a go at that. Let's have a look. I think, yeah, code creator is incredibly powerful because I'll show you now the kind of thing it created in the kind of process that we kind of started. And then for timing purposes, I didn't want to wait for it to take its time to go over that. So if we have a look, this is something it created with that simple prompt, yeah? And so this is something you can embed into an email, you can embed into your website, into a landing page, for example. So if I was a consumer, I could be like, okay, so I want a 3-hour kind of session. How many images do I want editing? So maybe I want like 15 kind of edited. Do I want a photo album? I can add it here. That is a personalized quote I have made for myself, yeah, as a consumer, and then I can save it. But what you can also do is if we press use and design, if I want to put it into a presentation, for example, oh, it's just taking a second, but then within the visual suite, I can update it to my brand colors, my brand font, very, very, very simply, without much kind of effort from my part, right? And all of a sudden, I have an incredibly engaging, incredibly useful, interactive piece of kit I have created in less than 8 minutes, I would say, after you've added your colors in. So that is the kind of end of today's session. And the only other thing I wanted to share was the Slack channel that we have, where you can join us to talk all things AI and kind of all the slides also get posted in there for you to kind of have access to. But yeah, thank you for spending your time to go through Canva 2.0 with me today. What did you think, Daniela?
Very, very interesting stuff. It's nice to have everything in one system, but obviously finding out how much that went up by is quite up, £500,
Yeah.
it's quite extravagant, but it looks very, very good.
And I think if you already had access to Canva before, you now get that within your same subscription fee, because they had to roll it back. It caused uproar,
Yeah.
like no one was happy about it.
Yeah.
So I think
George
it's incredible.
popped in the chat. He said it's still much cheaper than his Adobe subscription. Adobe is also getting quite expensive. So
yeah,
maybe that's
yeah, but it's this addition of AI into these things. It costs the organizations, it's not just the development of that, it's the actual use of that AI system. It costs money to have access to that. So I think that will be a mindset for us all to change, that this AI access also costs more money, so we have to factor that into our overall plan, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, I like the fact it's all an integrative system, and I love Canva anyways, so I found it really easy and straightforward to use. But obviously with all of these additional tools, it looks like it's very impressive to see what we're going
it'd
to be
be
able to
fun
accomplish
to
with that.
connect it to like Salesforce and things like that, and see like what product is doing the best and things like that in a visual dashboard. I think it'd be quite useful.
Yeah, definitely. So I've popped a few links in the chat regarding the Oxford College of Marketing. We also have a virtual open evening coming up if you guys are interested in any of the qualifications, or you're more than welcome to book a one-to-one chat. Thank you, Karina. It was also lovely having you on. In terms of what we do at the Oxford College of Marketing, we upskill students with qualifications which are internationally recognized, and will help you definitely get a foothold in terms of knowledge into the marketing industry, or if you're looking to move up within your organization or across into a new role, it's definitely something worth considering. What we typically recommend students take is that there's the accredited awards, which is a shorter qualification, takes around 6 weeks to complete. It's essentially one module, with the AI accredited award being the most popular at the moment. It ties in very nicely with what Robin's doing here. And then what you can do at a later stage is always build that up into the diploma through the Route 2 pathway option. So that's also something that otherwise, we have a host of other qualifications. You're more than welcome just to get in touch, and we'd be able to pinpoint and support you in that. But otherwise, it's been lovely sharing your lunchtime with us, or vice versa. And yeah, we look forward to the next one.
Yeah. The next one is all about AI agents and how to build them to do some work for you within your organization.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting. Every time I come on, I find it very interesting, because it's obviously seeing the transition of what's happening with AI, but it's somehow getting more dystopian.
Yes, yes. And I try and walk that line. That's just why it's like, we need to be ethical, guys. we need to know the impact of this, as well as like, this is wonderful. Yeah,
definitely.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Daniela.
Yep, definitely. See you on the next one.
See you
Goodbye,
soon.
everyone.